What are some important things students should be aware of, like rumors versus facts, dangers of joking, editing posts, altering posts, and changing meanings of things?
That's a good one, and I think the rumor versus fact is what happened a couple weeks ago. Is there was a rumor, and the rumor spread to, is it true? It was totally alarming and concerning, and then the rumor turned into a mass message, and then some students individually took that rumor and edited that first picture, put a caption, kind of some of the things that we were talking about, and then that was totally not a fact. And a rumor turned into a huge impact where several students did not come to school that morning. Not only that, it affected our community, parents, and it affected our police and our first responders. So that's a huge one, rumor versus fact.
Well, and the dangers of joking. So we've had students that will joke around, and they'll joke around about issues that are alarming to schools, such as, you know, causing some type of physical violence to others, or school, even joking around about that and posting it. And that creates a serious problem because the consequences for that can be very severe. And then that's part of why we're doing this, is so that hopefully we can make students more aware so that they're not making, you know, a bad choice that impacts their education.
A 5-second decision is so impactful, not only to the school but the actual student and the student's family, where now not only they might be facing school consequences, but now the law is brought into it and they have crossed a line with the law and could possibly be charged with a crime. And that is not a good place for anybody to be. That is not a fun phone call at all to make.
So you're saying that, like, they're like, a good high school student can just make one bad choice and then that affects them the rest of their life.
And this is, and we, you know, we've been educators for a long time, and we recognize that the tenure of students is most of the time impulsive. Am I right, psychologist?
Yes, absolutely.
and most teenagers or administrators will they'll do things without thinking, just in the moment. And I think that's why your insurance is so high. But what we need to realize is that when it comes to school safety, you're going to have to think before you send. You're going to have to hit the pause button and think about your post and the ramifications of what that post is going to do to you and what it's going to do to countless others and to the school community before you do that. If not, you're taking those consequences, the potential of those consequences, into your own hands.
You're crossed with, you have this information, you have this concerning post, you're not sure it's true, you're not sure it's false. What do you do? What is your first thought?
My first instinct would to call the police first, but with a situation like this where you don't know if it's like gonna be 100% true, and because we've been taught, like, if you call the police and it's not something that's serious, you'll get in trouble. But we don't know what to do in a situation where it's like, should I call the police, or is this just gonna get me in trouble personally? It's one of those situations.
That's a really, really good point. Whenever you're concerned, the conversation with the police officers, here's what I have, here, I'm concerned, I'm not sure it's true. If that's kind of the scope of how you're describing it, there's nothing that you did wrong. The police want that information immediately, not something that's been, you know, stewing for the last couple hours. As soon as you think it's something that is important, you contact the police, contact your parents, contact an administrator. Do not send it through social media.
So, just one last quick question. What are, like, the possible consequences students could face? Anything ranging from spreading a rumor to, like, actually saying something to, like, actually doing something? I'm sure you guys have dealt with a lot of this.
Within the school, if a student is found guilty, we have enough evidence to corroborate that that student caused mass hysteria in the school. And as you heard earlier in our definition of a threat, that hysteria can be intentional or unintentional, okay? That's critical to know. That student will be suspended indefinitely, pending conference with our principal. And at that conference, the principal can make a recommendation for expulsion. And so what that means, because a lot of students are going, those are big words, what does that mean? It means that you are literally removed from your public school until a meeting is held with your parents and the principal. If you're an athlete, you're not allowed back to your athletic practices. You're not allowed at school, on school grounds, at school events, at any extracurriculars until that meeting is held. Once that meeting is held, the principal will again go through the case and there can be a recommendation for expulsion. We don't want students to now have an opposite extreme response where students say, well, I'm just not going to do anything. I don't want to get involved. I'm not trying to get in any trouble. We need you to know that students are the eyes and ears of this school. Okay, every major situation that have come to our attention, whether the administration or the police, have come by way of a student report. Whether it's students reporting directly, indirectly, or anonymously. But you're the one, you know when there's going to be a fight happening in the school. You know who is might have marijuana in their bag in the locker room. You know the person who carries the pocket knife on the way to school. You know the student who might have some instabilities from something you've followed or searched on social media. And all of that stuff is important for us to know, and I think you've heard enough today on all the different veins of how you can communicate. And we just want to encourage you to, again, be mindful that safety is everyone's responsibility, and we want you to be an active part of that, but we want you to do it the right way. Awesome.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for doing this. Appreciate it.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.